Uranium brought from Russia for Rupur nuclear power plant to be handed over to Bangladesh tomorrow, with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Russian President Vladimir Putin scheduled to join it virtually. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returns home after wrapping up 16-day official visit to the USA and the UK. Instead of following legal procedures properly, BNP forging conspiracies to fish in the troubled water, capitalizing on al-jazeera's sickness, says Obadul Qadir. BNP and its paid agents spreading propaganda against the country, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Judicial procedure of al-alqsa going on as per the constitution. She can appeal for presidential exemption, says Law Minister. 2023 Nobel Prize in Chemistry awarded to trio of scientists for discovery of quantum dots that changed everything from TV display to cancer imaging. And the 13th edition of ICC Cricket World Cup to start in Ahmedabad, India tomorrow. England and New Zealand will meet the opening match. Assalamu alaikum. This is News at 10 and I'm Anika Amberin with you. Those were the highlights, now the details.
বাংলার মানুষের জন্য জীবনের যৌবন আমি কারাগারে কাটিয়ে দিয়েছি। এই মানুষের দুঃখ দেখলে আমি পাগল হয়ে যাই।
The uranium brought from Russia for the Rupur nuclear power plant will formally be handed over to Bangladesh tomorrow by Russia's state-run Atomic Energy Corporation, Rosatom, through a function. It is expected that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Russian President Vladimir Putin will virtually be connected during handover ceremony. The Rupur nuclear power plant in Ishordia of Pabna is one of the mega projects of the country. The 2,400 megawatt capacity nuclear power plant has been constructed on vast area on the bank of the river Podda. According to the authorities, one unit of the plant with 12 100 megawatt capacity is all set to go into production in September next year. The first consignment of fuel, that is uranium, arrived in Bangladesh on September 28. Project insiders said the activities of the power plant are going ahead as per directives of the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. Officials of the IAEA will also be present at the uranium handing over function tomorrow. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has returned home from London after wrapping up her 16-day official visit to the USA and the UK. The commercial flight of the Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage members landed at the Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport at 12:15 p.m. today. The Prime Minister reached London, the capital city of United Kingdom, on September 30 from Washington, D.C. In London, Sheikh Hasina was hosted at a reception by the Bangladeshi community and held several courtesy calls with some dignitaries, including a delegation of the all-party parliamentary group APPG, led by Rushnara Ali, MP chair of APPG on Bangladesh, and Rohingya and the UK Shadow Minister for Investment and Small Business. During her stay in New York and Washington, D.C. from September 17 to 29, the Premier attended the 78th United Nations General Assembly session and other high-level bilateral and side events, and attended a reception accorded to her by Bangladeshi expatriates in the U.S. and visited Bangladesh Embassy in Washington, D.C. Early on her way back home from London, the Prime Minister exchanged pleasantries with the passengers and also took pictures with them. She spent some good moments with the passengers as some returnees were seen emotional by getting her Premier beside them, took selfies with her. Several women passengers were also seen hugging the Prime Minister. The flight previously departed from London Heathrow Airport around 9:10 p.m. London time last night. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina went to New York on September 17 to attend the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The long-cherished third terminal of Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport is going to be opened on October 7. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is expected to inaugurate it. On the day of inauguration, a plane will take off from the new terminal as a test case. After completion of all related works, the third terminal of Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport will go into full operations for passengers at the end of next year. Chairman of Civil Aviation Authority's Air Vice Marshal Mohammad Mafidur Rahman came up with the updates at an exclusive interview with the BTV. The government, led by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, has been working with a mission to turn Bangladesh into a rich and prosperous country by 2041. Keeping the mission in mind, the government has come forward to construct the third terminal to turn Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport into a smart airport with all modern facilities. Security of the airport, ground handling, cargo handling and quality of services to passengers will increase a large extent once the new terminal goes into operations. Chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority said with the third terminal, Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport will be considered as one of the modern and smart airports in the world. English Daily, the daily people's life, has been formally unveiled with the determination to present true, objective and neutral news. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry and Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood inaugurated the newspaper in Dhaka Club today. Addressing the program, Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry said mass media will play a vital role to create awareness among people and take proper decisions by presenting precise news.
আমি আশা করি যে অত্যন্ত বস্তুনিষ্ঠ এবং দায়িত্বশীলতার সাথে যারা এই পত্রিকার সাথে জড়িত আছেন তারা তাদের দায়িত্ব পালন করবেন এবং আমরা জানি যে গণমাধ্যম এবং গণতন্ত্র এই দুটো নিবিড়ভাবে যুক্ত এবং একে অপরের সহায়ক ভূমিকা পালন করে কেননা মুক্ত চিন্তাকে যদি স্থান দেওয়া না হয় তাহলে গণতন্ত্র সংকুচিত হয়ে যায় কাজেই গণমাধ্যমের স্বাধীনতা খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ
Addressing the function, Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood said Bangladesh is a proper example of how a free mass media works in developing countries.
শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে যেভাবে বাংলাদেশ এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে সমস্ত প্রতিকূলতাকে টপকে প্রতিবন্ধকতাকে উপড়ে ফেলে এইভাবে যেন দেশ এগিয়ে যায় সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি আশা করব দি পিপলস লাইফ সারথি হিসাবে কাজ করে অবশ্যই পিপলস লাইফ দায়িত্বশীলদের ভুল সেটি তুলে ধরবেন সরকারের ভুল থাকলে সেটিও তুলে ধরবেন সরকারেরও সমালোচনা হবে প্রয়োজনে তথ্যমন্ত্রীরও সমালোচনা হবে কিন্তু একই সাথে সরকারের দেশের রাষ্ট্রের মানুষের যে অর্জন সেটিও তুলে ধরতে হবে
Nafisa Jumaina Mahmood is the publisher of the newspaper The Daily People's Life. Presided over by editor of The Daily, Azizul Islam Puya, the function was also addressed by Member of Parliament Saimum Sarwar Kamal, Prime Minister's former Media and Information Affairs Advisor Iqbal Subhan Chaudhry, former diplomat Shamshar Mobin Chaudhry, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University Dr. Masood Kamal, Director General of Bangladesh Press Institute Jafar Wazid, Principal Information Officer Shahanur Mia, Relief and Social Welfare Secretary of Awami League Aminul Islam Amin, Deputy Publicity Secretary Abdul Awal Shamim, Professor Shafiul Alam Bhuiya from Dhaka University, President of Dhaka Reporters Unity Mursalin Numani and Editorial Board Chairman of the Daily People's Life Hassan Rahman. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obadul Qadir has said without following proper legal procedures, BNP is carrying out evil attempts to fish in troubled water, capitalizing on Khaleda Zia's illness to gain political interest. He made the comment in a statement today strongly condemning the protesting BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir's remarks over the country's existing law and judicial process. Obadul Qadir said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina showed the highest generosity and liberalism to graft case convict Begum Khaleda Zia, allowing her to stay at her home and take advanced treatment from the country's most modern hospital. Obadul Qadir said Mirza Fakhrul gave complete false information over Sheikh Hasina's treatment abroad in 2008 during the caretaker government tenure. Sheikh Hasina was not convicted and there was no bar from the court to her in going abroad. He said, adding Bangabandhu's daughter is always respectful to law and she went abroad for treatment following proper legal procedures after getting bail on all cases filed against her. On the other hand, Begum Zia is a convict and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina postponed her jail term, issuing an executive order, he said. Obadul Qadir said if Khaleda Zia wants to go abroad, she must have to appear before the court to take permission as per the existing law. The matter is under complete jurisdiction of the court and there is no scope to do politics over the matter, he added. Information and Broadcasting Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood said BNP and its paid agents are spreading propaganda against the country. He said this in response to queries from journalists at a meeting with the leader of Film, Television and Digital Media Professionals Confederation at the Secretariat today.
বিদেশে বিএনপির নানা অ্যাক্টিভিস্টরা এবং তাদের পেইড এজেন্টরা নানা ধরনের গুজব ছড়াচ্ছে, মধ্যপ্রাচ্যে নানা ধরনের গুজব ছড়াচ্ছে। কয়েকদিন আগে গুজব ছড়িয়েছিল যে ব্যাংকে টাকা নাই, এজন্য সবাই হুড়মুড় করে ব্যাংক থেকে টাকা তুলে ফেলার হিড়িক শুরু হয়েছিল। এই ধরনের নানা গুজব ছড়াচ্ছে। এই গুজবগুলো সরকারের বিরুদ্ধে নয়, এই গুজবগুলো হচ্ছে রাষ্ট্রের বিরুদ্ধে। বিএনপি এবং তাদের পেইড এজেন্টরা রাষ্ট্রের বিরুদ্ধে গুজব ছড়াচ্ছে। সেই গুজব নিয়ন্ত্রণ করার জন্য আমরা কাজ করছি, তবে এই সমস্ত গুজব ছড়িয়ে খুব একটা লাভ হচ্ছে না।
Dr. Hassan Mahmood said leaders of BNP would have realized the generosity of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina if Khaleda Zia had been still in jail.
গুজব রটালো, কে কি বলল সেটা নিয়ে তো আমি মন্তব্য করার প্রয়োজন আছে বলে মনে করি না। কিন্তু বেগম খালেদা জিয়ার প্রতি মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী বঙ্গবন্ধু কন্যা জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা যে সহানুভূতি দেখিয়েছেন, তিনি তো কারাগারে থাকার কথা, বাইরে তার পরিবারের সদস্যরা তার সাথে নিয়মিত দেখা করে যোগাযোগ করে এবং তার দলের নেতারাও যায়। তিনি শাস্তিপ্রাপ্ত দণ্ডপ্রাপ্ত আসামি হওয়া সত্ত্বেও তিনি এখন শাস্তি স্থগিত করে তাকে বাইরে থাকার ব্যবস্থা মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী শেখ হাসিনা করে দিয়েছেন। এটি একটি বড় মহানুভবতা। বেগম খালেদা জিয়া রাষ্ট্র ক্ষমতায় থাকলে জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনার প্রতি এই মহানুভবতা দেখাতেন না। যেখানে তার বাড়ির সামনে গিয়ে জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকার পর তার বাড়ির দরজা খোলেন নাই, 15 আগস্টে কেক কাটেন, 2004 সালে গ্রেনেড হামলার পর সেটা নিয়ে হাস্যরস করেছেন, যেহেতু তারাই সেটার পিছনে ছিলেন। তো সেখানে তিনি যে এই ধরনের সহানুভূতি দেখাতেন না সেটি খুবই স্পষ্ট। বিএনপি নেতাদের জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনাকে ধন্যবাদ দেওয়া প্রয়োজন। মির্জা ফখরুল ইসলাম আলমগীর সাহেবেরও জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনাকে ধন্যবাদ দেওয়া প্রয়োজন, তাকে কারাগারের বাইরে থাকতে দিয়েছেন। ওনারা মনে হয় সেটি টের পাচ্ছেন না যে কীরকম মহানুভবতা দেখিয়েছেন। যদি সাজা স্থগিত রেখে তাকে যে বাইরে থাকার ব্যবস্থা করে দিয়েছেন সেটা যদি বাতিল করা হয়, তখন সম্ভবত তারা টের পাবেন যে কি পরিমাণ মহানুভবতা জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা বেগম খালেদা জিয়ার জন্য দেখিয়েছেন।
President of the organization Sadiq Siddiqui and General Secretary Abu Zafar Opu, among others, were present at the meeting. Law Minister Anisul Haq said the judicial procedure of Khaleda Zia is going on as per the constitution. He, however, said Khaleda Zia can appeal to the president for exemption from the conviction. He said this while briefing journalists at the Bangladesh Secretariat today. The law minister said Mirza Fakhrul's speech about Khaleda Zia's treatment abroad is not right. He should talk after being well informed. Dhaka South City Corporation Mayor Barrister Fazlinur Taposh and Law Secretary Muhammad Ghulam Sarwar were present on the occasion. The Law Minister said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has managed the house treatment of Khaleda Zia by using her special power. Now international news. The 2023 Nobel Prize in Chemistry has been awarded to a trio of scientists who worked to discover and develop quantum dots used in LED lights and TV screens, as well as by surgeons when removing cancer tissue. The prize was won by Maungi Bevendi, Louis Bruce and Alexei Akimov, the Nobel Committee for Chemistry announced in Stockholm on Wednesday. Bawendi, a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and Bruce, professor emeritus at Columbia University, are American. Akimov is Russian and works for Nanocrystals Technology Incorporation. The more than century-old prize is awarded by the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences and is worth 11 million Swedish crowns. The United States House of Representatives has voted to remove Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his position, the result of infighting within his own party and persistent challenges from its rightward flank. McCarthy was expelled from his role in a 216-10 vote on Tuesday evening, the first time in U.S. history that the House has voted to remove its leader. The unprecedented vote underscores growing turmoil in the Republican Party, also known as the GOP, with the hard-right faction sparring with McCarthy on several occasions since he first became the Speaker in January. Republican Matt Gaetz files a motion on oust U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. In the vote on Tuesday evening, 8 Republicans broke with the Speaker, sinking the chances of securing the majority needed to keep his job. Democrats, who have expressed frustration with McCarthy over what they see as his efforts to appeal to the Republicans' hard right, refused to vote in his favor. Rishi Sunak has formally announced he has cancelled the planned HS2 rail link from Birmingham to Manchester, also unveiling a new post-16 education and qualification in his speech to the Conservative Party conference. In a speech otherwise largely devoid of new policies, Sunak nonetheless tried to present himself, the fifth Tory Prime Minister in 13 unbroken years of the party's rule, as the only option for change. On HS2, Sunak said the government would invest €36 billion saved from HS2 in other transport projects across the whole country, including a number of road schemes. In the one heralded announcement, Sunak announced a new regime for post-16 school education, saying he would replace A-levels and T-levels with a new qualification called the Advanced British Standard, where all students would study maths and English to the age of 18 and would take 5 different subjects. Pope Francis has opened an important meeting on the future of the Catholic Church, with progressives hoping it will lead to more women in leadership roles and conservatives warning that church doctrine on everything from homosexuality to the hierarchy's authority is at risk. Francis presided over solemn Mosque in the St. Peter's Square on Wednesday to formally open the meeting, with hundreds of clergy from around the world celebrating the altar before the rank and file Catholic lay people who presents and influence. This meeting marks a decisive shift for the Catholic Church. Rarely in recent times has a Vatican gathering generated as much hope, hype and fear as this three-week closed-door meeting known as Synod. It would make any binding decisions and is only the first session of a two-year process. Even before it started, the gathering was historic because Francis decided to let women and lay people vote alongside bishops in any final document produced. At least 21 people, including several children, have died after a bus crashed off a flyover near Venice and burst into flames, officials say. The bus broke through a barrier and plunged almost 15-meter new railway tracks in the district of Mestre, which is connected to Venice by a bridge. 5 Ukrainians, 1 German and the Italian driver were among the dead. Interior Minister Matteo Piantedosi said that the death toll could rise. 15 people are known to have been injured, 5 of them seriously. Venice officials said they included Ukrainians, Australians, Spaniards and other foreign tourists. Now some other international news in brief. Russia said Wednesday it has destroyed more than 30 Ukrainian drones in the West overnight, and its planes had also averted a Ukrainian attempt to penetrate Crimea by sea. The United States has imposed sanctions and launched indictment against dozens of Chinese companies and individuals it claims are involved in the illegal trade of the highly addictive drug fentanyl.
Families and communities.
In the rapid scaling up of our work, targeting the financial flows.
Canada's Parliament on Tuesday elected Greg Fergus as the first black speaker following his predecessor's resignation over the public celebration of a Ukrainian veteran who fought for the Nazis. At least 23 Indian Army personnel have gone missing in the northeastern state of Sikkim after a cloudburst triggered massive flash floods, officials said. Warm winds fanned multiple blazes on Wednesday in an unusually early start to Australia's annual fire season, prompting a state leader to warn of a horror summer of bushfires ahead. No improvement was seen of the dengue situation prevailing across the country, as over 2,000 have been infected and 16 died during the last 24 hours. A press release of the Director General of Health Services said among the dead, 7 were in Dhaka, 9 were outside Dhaka. 2,564 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 720 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 1,844 patients outside Dhaka. Meanwhile, no one died of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The country reported 5 COVID-19 positive cases as 510 tested in the last 24 hours. Corona infection rate was reported at 0.98%. Now, weather. Under the influence of active monsoon, deep convection is continuing over North Bay. Met Office said squally weather may affect the maritime ports North Bay and adjoining coastal areas of Bangladesh. Maritime ports of Chattogram, Cox's Bazar, Mongla and Paira have been advised to keep hoisted local cautionary signal number 3. I repeat, local cautionary signal number 3. All fishing boats and trawlers over North Bay have been advised to remain close to the coast and proceed with caution till further notice. Meanwhile, Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at most places over Rangpur, Rajshahi, Dhaka, Mymensingh, Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions. Besides, moderately heavy to very heavy falls may occur at places over the country. Now news on sports. The 13th edition of the ICC ODI Cricket World Cup will kick off from tomorrow without the opening ceremony. England and New Zealand, the two finalists of the 2019 World Cup, will meet in the opening match at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad at 2:30 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time tomorrow. Meanwhile, the opening ceremony of the World Cup was scheduled to take place today, but the opening ceremony was cancelled at the last moment. However, Captain's Day and official photo sessions were held with the participation of 10 captains. Bangladesh's World Cup campaign will begin on October 7 with a match against Afghanistan in Dharamsala. The Tigers will also play their second match against England in Dharamsala on October 10. Bangladesh beat Malaysia by 2 runs in the men's cricket quarterfinals of the ongoing Asian Games in Hangzhou, China today. Chasing the victory target of 117 runs, Malaysia managed to score 114 runs for 8 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. Earlier, Bangladesh won the toss and batted first and scored 116 runs for 5 wickets in 20 overs. Saif Hassan scored an unbeaten 50 for the team. Saif Hassan's team will fight for a place in the final against India on Friday. To end the bulletin headlines once again. Urine brought from Russia for Rupur nuclear power plant to be handed over to Bangladesh tomorrow, with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Russian President Vladimir Putin scheduled to join it virtually. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returns home after wrapping up the 16-day official visit to the USA and the UK. Instead of following legal procedures properly, PNP forging conspiracies to fish in the troubled water, capitalizing on al-Jazeera's sickness, says Abdul Qadir. BNP and its paid agents spreading propaganda against the country, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Judicial procedure of al-Jazeera going on as per the constitution. She can appeal for presidential exemption, says Law Minister. 2023 Nobel Prize in Chemistry awarded to the trio of scientists for discovery of quantum dots that has changed everything from TV display to cancer imaging. And 13th edition of ICC Cricket World Cup to start in Ahmedabad, India tomorrow. England and New Zealand will meet the opening match. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us and